Many men think life gets easier after success. It does not. For many responsible men, life gets hardest after they start winning. More money does not remove pressure. It multiplies it. More success does not create peace. It often creates weight. And if a man does not understand why that happens, he can spend years believing something is wrong with him, when the real problem is structural. There is a moment almost no one talks about. A man reaches something he worked for, a promotion, a business that finally grows, an income level he once only imagined, a family he loves and provides for, and then something strange happens. Life gets heavier, not lighter. In that moment, quietly and privately, he begins to wonder if something is wrong with him. Today, I want to tell you that nothing is wrong with you. What you are experiencing has a name. It has a structure. And once you understand that structure, you can work with it instead of being crushed by it. My name is Rabbi Shimon. This is episode 50 of the Torah Life Architect. Today, we are going to examine one of the most misunderstood structural laws of a man's life. I call it the expansion law. And if you understand this law correctly, you will understand why life got heavier after success, why pressure increased instead of decreased, and what must be strengthened before success starts suffocating the man who built it. Let me start with the paradox. Because the paradox is real, and most men are living inside it right now without understanding what it is. They think the problem is pressure. It is not. They think the problem is success. It is not. The problem is that growth changed the weight of their life faster than they changed the structure underneath it. When a man is younger, before significant responsibility arrives, life feels difficult because of scarcity. He does not have enough money. He does not have enough opportunity. He does not have enough recognition. He does not have enough stability. And so he works, he builds, he pushes, he sacrifices, and he tells himself a story. He tells himself that once things improve, once the income grows, once the position rises, once the business moves, once the family is established, life will become easier. That is the story most men are operating from. That success equals relief. But here is what actually happens. The income grows, and with it the expenses grow. The standard of living grows. The expectations of the people around him grow. The financial decisions become larger and more consequential. What once felt like a manageable situation now feels like a system with many moving parts, any one of which could break at any moment. The position rises, and with it, the number of people depending on him grows. The problems he is responsible for become more complex. The decisions carry more weight. The margin for error shrinks. The number of people watching him, evaluating him, needing something from him multiplies in every direction. The business grows, and with it, the team grows. The obligations grow, the risks grow, the responsibility for other people's livelihoods becomes part of his daily reality. What was once a personal project is now a living structure that requires constant attention, constant decision-making, constant governance. The family is established, and with it the weight of provision, of example, of leadership inside the home becomes a permanent daily reality that does not pause on weekends and does not take vacations. This is the paradox. Every area of life that grew also became heavier, and the man who is expecting freedom finds himself carrying more than he ever imagined he would carry. This is the man who earns more but rests less, the man who finally got the promotion but lost his peace, the man whose business grew but whose mind never stopped running, the man whose family is blessed but who secretly feels heavier every month. He is not failing. His life expanded faster than his structure. Now I want to be very precise here, because there is an interpretation of what I just described that is completely wrong, and I want to address it immediately. The wrong interpretation is this: that success is not worth pursuing, that ambition leads to suffering, that a man should lower his expectations and stay small to stay peaceful. That is not what I am saying. That interpretation is structurally incorrect and spiritually shallow. What I'm saying is something very different. I am saying that expansion is a law of life. And like all laws, it has conditions. Expansion without the right internal structure does not lead to freedom. It leads to collapse. Not because success is bad, but because the vessel was not built to contain what grew inside it. Let me explain this with a principle from the Torah understanding of life. In the construction of the Mishkan, the ancient portable sanctuary that the Jewish people built in the wilderness, every element had to match the weight it was designed to carry. The poles had to be strong enough for the beams. The beams had to be strong enough for the walls. The walls had to be built in precise proportion so that the entire structure stood correctly. When dimensions were correct, the structure held. When they were not, nothing worked. The load collapsed the frame. A man's life operates on the same principle. When external expansion outpaces internal structure, the load collapses the frame, and the man stands in the middle of a growing life, feeling like he is failing, when in truth he is simply structurally mismatched with what he has built. He does not need less life. He needs stronger structure. This is the expansion law. Expansion always increases responsibility faster than it increases stability. That is not a design flaw in the universe. That is a structural test. The question is whether the man inside the expansion is growing his internal architecture at the same rate that his external life is growing. Most men are not. And here is why. Because most men have been trained to build outward before they build inward. Most men have been trained culturally and practically to focus their energy on external production. They measure progress in output, revenue numbers, title changes, square footage, net worth, team size. These are real things. These are not unimportant things, but they are all external measurements, and external measurements tell you about the size of what you are building. They do not tell you about the strength of what is holding it up. A man can have a very large life and a very weak structure. In fact, a large life almost guarantees a weak structure, unless he has been very deliberate about building both simultaneously. Because the default pattern of a driven man is to pour all his energy into growth and to neglect the architecture underneath the growth. I see this pattern repeatedly, and it follows a very consistent sequence. First, the man grows his income, but he does not grow his discipline over how income is governed. So as money increases, the complexity of financial decisions increases faster than his framework for making those decisions. He begins to feel financially pressured even as his numbers improve. Second, the man grows his position, but he does not grow his clarity about who he is at that position. He begins to drift between the demands of the role and the needs of the people around him, losing the stable center that allowed him to lead with authority in the first place. He becomes reactive instead of directive. Third, the man grows his business or his responsibilities, but he does not grow the systems and limits that protect his time, his energy, and his attention. So as the business grows, everything that requires his personal involvement also grows. He becomes the bottleneck of his own expansion. The ceiling of his peace is his own capacity, which never had the room to expand. Fourth, the man grows his family. Children arrive. The home becomes a complex ecosystem of needs, schedules, emotional demands, and relational responsibilities. But the man has not grown his governance of himself inside the home. He arrives from an exhausting external life without enough internal resource to show up as the leader his household needs. And that gap becomes a quiet source of shame. In each of these cases, the pattern is the same. External growth ran ahead of internal structure, and the result is a man who appears successful by every visible metric while privately experiencing a life that feels increasingly unmanageable. This is not weakness. I want to say that clearly. This is a structural problem, and structural problems require structural solutions, not motivation, not inspiration, not better habits, structural reconstruction. Now, I want to shift to something very important, because this is where most men become confused. They think growth is one thing. It is not. Growth has phases, and if a man does not know which phase he is in, he will apply the wrong solution to the wrong pressure. A man must understand the phases of building a life, because most men build without a map. And when you do not know what phase you are in, you cannot know what kind of work that phase requires. Let me explain the 3 phases of understanding that I believe every serious man must possess. The first is identity. Before anything can be built correctly, a man must know who he is, not who others expect him to be, not who his role requires him to be, but who he actually is at the level of character, values, and calling. If a man does not know who he is, everything he builds rests on a borrowed foundation, and a structure built on a borrowed foundation does not stand under pressure. That is why the first volume is called Identity of Kings. A king does not become a king because of his crown. He becomes a king because of the architecture of his character. The crown only reveals what was already built internally. Then comes seed. Once identity is stable, a man must learn how to plant, protect, and multiply resources. Not just money, but time, energy, relationships, influence, and opportunity. These things do not merely appear. They must be cultivated. That is why the second volume is called Wealth is a Seed. Because most men treat resources as things to acquire rather than things to cultivate, and there is a profound difference between those 2 postures. But then comes the most dangerous phase. When identity becomes stable and seed principles begin working, life starts expanding, opportunities multiply, responsibility grows, pressure increases, expectations rise. And if structure is not strengthened, expansion becomes collapse. That is why I wrote the 3rd volume, Expansion Without Collapse. It is not a book about growing faster. It is a book about growing correctly, because expansion is not the enemy, but expansion without structural reinforcement is. Volume 3 exists for the moment when a man discovers that success did not lighten his life. It loaded it. And the man who learns to govern that expansion, who strengthens his identity under pressure, who builds order and boundaries around growth, does not merely survive success. He inhabits it. He governs it. He passes something real to the people who come after him. Now let me speak to the solution directly, because I do not believe in diagnosing a structural problem without showing the architecture that repairs it. Anything less than that would be incomplete work. When a man recognizes that his life has expanded faster than his structure, his instinct is often to shrink, to slow down, to pull back, to lower the ambition. But that is rarely the correct response. You do not solve structural imbalance by becoming smaller. You solve it by becoming stronger. 3 things must be strengthened. The first is identity. A man under expansion pressure must return to and reinforce his understanding of who he is, what he stands for, what he will not compromise, what his life is actually in service of. When identity is clear, decisions become easier. pressure becomes more manageable. Because the man is not trying to figure out who he is in the middle of the storm. He already knows. He acts from that knowing rather than from reaction. The second is order. Order means that a man has a structured framework for how his life is governed, not just externally in terms of schedules and systems, but internally in terms of what receives his attention, his energy, and his time. A man without order is simply responding to whatever is loudest at any given moment. And in an expanding life, there is always something loud. The man without order becomes permanently reactive. The man with order has a hierarchy of priority that does not change based on the noise level of the day. The third is boundaries. This is where most men resist most strongly, because driven men associate boundaries with limitation. But boundaries are not limitations on a man's life. Boundaries are what make a man's life hold its shape under pressure. Without boundaries, expansion becomes formlessness, and a formless life cannot be governed. Every significant structure that exists in the physical world holds its shape because it has edges. A man's life is no different. His time has limits. His energy has limits. His attention has limits. When he treats those limits with the same seriousness that he treats his ambitions, his life becomes structurally sound. When he ignores those limits in pursuit of more, the structure eventually gives way under the weight. Identity, order, and boundaries. Those are not soft concepts. Those are structural principles, and a man who builds his expanding life on those three pillars will not collapse under the weight of what he has built. I want to offer you something concrete before we close today, because a man who has heard this kind of structural diagnosis deserves more than an idea. He deserves a tool. I have created what I call the Vessel Inspection Protocol. It is a free resource, and its purpose is exactly what the name suggests. It helps a man examine the structural integrity of his current life, not to judge what he has built, but to identify where the weight is currently exceeding the structure, where identity has drifted, where order has dissolved, where boundaries have been abandoned in favor of expansion that has no container. If this episode exposed something in you, do not leave it at insight. Inspect the structure, because the danger is not pressure by itself. The danger is carrying weight in places your life is no longer built to sustain. The link to download the Vessel Inspection Protocol is in the description below. Take it seriously. Work through it honestly, because the man who can see his structure clearly is the man who can build correctly. I want to close with something I believe with complete conviction. The heaviness you have been feeling is not proof that you built the wrong life. It is not proof that you are weak. It is not proof that success was a mistake. It is proof that your life has entered an expansion phase, and your structure now has to grow to match what is growing around you. That is workable. That is buildable. That is exactly the kind of problem that has a structural solution. So do not panic. Do not shrink. Build stronger. You did not come this far to collapse under the weight of what you built. You came this far to learn how to govern it, how to inhabit it, how to pass something lasting to the people who depend on you and the people who will come after you. That is the work of a builder, and that is who you are. Your soul is the blueprint. Your life is the construction. Shalom, my friend. Now let's build the life God designed for you.